before we can go to the trigonometry grade 11, let's quickly revise analytical geometry. This is the question paper that was written in June 2025, and it was Free State Province exam. Okay. In the diagram, we're given the coordinates of A, B, C, and D at the vertices of a quadrilateral having AD parallel to BC. BA produce as an x-intercept at E, BD and AC intersect at M. N is T and 0. It's a point on AD. Calculate the gradient of BC. To calculate the gradient of BC, right? So you're going to say MBC. It is equals to 5 minus 3 divided by 6 minus 0. So the answer in this case will be 8 divided by 6, which is 4 divided by 3. And then you're done with the gradient of BC. Okay, so you get your 2 marks. You get your 2 marks here. These 2 marks. Determine the equation of AD. The equation of AD, and then you realize that AD is parallel to what? To BC, right? Since we know that AD is parallel to BC, it means that the gradient of AD, it is equal to the gradient of BC, right? And then from this part here, you can say, since we know that the gradient of AD is equal to the gradient of BC, therefore, to determine the equation of a straight line, we're going to say y, it is equal to the gradient, which is 4 divided by 3, x plus c. Now, to determine the value of c, since we are determining the equation of AD, we can use the coordinates of A. We substitute them. Let's substitute the coordinates of A. So this will be y, which is 2, equals to 4 divided by 3. Our x is negative 2 plus c. And then in this case, we're going to have 2 plus 2 times, negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. So whenever we move it to the left hand side, it will be positive. So it will be positive 8 divided by 3, which is equal to c. So in this case, we know that if you can calculate here, you just use your calculator, okay? Just use your calculator, and then say this is 2 plus 8 divided by 3, and then you're getting 14 divided by 3. So c, it is equal to 14 divided by 3. So now the equation is y, it is equal to 4 divided by 3x plus 14 divided by 3, and then you're done. And then you get how many marks allocated for this question? 3 marks. You get 1 mark for this, get another mark for substitution, and then you get another mark for the equation. Okay. Let's move to 2.3. 2.3, determine the value of t. To determine the value of t, t is the x-intercept of the line AD, okay? So it means that in this case, you are going to write the following. You are going to say, since this 2.3, you have just determined the equation of AD. So this will be y equals to 4 divided by 3x plus 14 divided by 3. To determine the x-intercept, we are going to substitute these coordinates in the equation of AD, okay? So t will replace x, y will be replaced by 0. So this 4 divided by 3t, this t plus 14 divided by 3. So we take 14 divided by 3 to the other side. It becomes negative 14 divided by 3. This equals 4t divided by 3. Okay? So since the denominators are the same, therefore we equate the numerators. So this will be 4t, it is equal to negative 14. Therefore, when we divide both sides by 4, we remain with t equals to, t is equal to 1. So you're going to say the negative 14 divided by 4. Negative 14 divided by 4, we are getting negative 7 divided by 2. Done. Let's move to 2.4. Determine the coordinate of D if A, B, C, D is a parallelogram. So this one, since we're told that this is a parallelogram, in most cases, learners, they firstly find the midpoint of this parallelogram, right? So there's no need to do such. You can say changing x. Changing x in this case, it will be x1 minus x2 is equal to x3 minus x4. Okay, so in this case, our x1 here, it will be negative 2 minus, okay, minus what? Open bracket, because we want to determine the coordinate of D, right? So this will be x. There's no need for me to draw the bracket. It's negative 2 minus x, it is equals to 6, equals to 6 minus 0. Okay, so in this case, you're going to say negative x, it is equals to 6 plus 2. Okay, what would you get? Did I write the correct stuff here? Let me recheck this. Let's say this minus 2 minus x equals to 6 minus 0, negative x is equals to 6 plus 2. I'm not getting negative 8. Clearly, negative 8. Let's see. So x will be equal to negative 8. Okay, it means so correct, because if you say negative 2 minus 8, we're getting 6. Okay, that's fine. This is correct. And then to determine y, the same thing. We're going to say 2 minus y, it is equal to 5 plus 3. So in this case, we're going to have negative y, it is equal to 8 minus 2. So y will be equal to negative 6. So the coordinate of D, it's negative 8 and negative 6. Done. You get your 3 marks for writing that. Okay, and the last one, they're saying you need to quickly determine the equation of the perpendicular bisector of AD. Perpendicular bisector of AD. If we are saying it's perpendicular bisector, it means bisector means midpoint. Okay, so it means the midpoint of AD. The midpoint of AD, it will be somewhere here. This will be your midpoint, right? And they're saying it's perpendicular bisecting AD. If it's perpendicular bisecting AD, it means we're going to draw a line like this one here. I'm not sure whether this line will pass through E, but that's how it looks. Okay, that's how it looks. So if this is a perpendicular line that we have to determine the equation, it means now we have to determine the coordinates of this perpendicular bisector. Okay, so this will be what? This will be it will be minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. Since x is negative 8, this negative 8, right? Negative 8 and negative 6. Okay, so it's minus 2 minus 8. Okay, and 2 minus 6 divided by 2. I determine the coordinates here. Negative, this will be negative 5, and this will be negative 2 down. Okay, yes, I think we are correct. 6 minus 0, 6 minus 2, 6. Okay, just like that. So now, since we have determined the coordinate of this midpoint, therefore you can determine the equation, and then we know that since this is 4 divided by 3, the gradient here, so it means we have to flip the values so that the gradient of this line will be the opposite of the gradient of AD. The gradient of AD, we know that it's 4 divided by 3, right? So now, if they're saying these two lines are perpendicular, it means the gradient of the perpendicular bisector now, the gradient, it will be negative 3 divided by 4. And then we use these coordinates to find the equation. Y, it is equal to negative 3 divided by 4, x plus c. Okay, so now you can determine it's a linear equation. It's a linear equation. It's a linear equation. Okay, after that you say negative 2 and negative 5. So our y here is negative 2, it is equal to negative 3 divided by 4 multiplied by negative 5 plus c. So here it's negative 2 minus 15 divided by 4, it is equal to c. And now we use our calculators. Negative 2, negative 15 divided by 4. We're getting negative 23 divided by 4. So the equation in this case will be negative 3 divided by 4, x minus 23 divided by 4. So this is how we can determine the coordinates, or the equation. I mean, that's how we can determine the equation. So please, guys, make sure that you go to the exam and pass, because we do not want to see anyone failing. See, not want to see anyone failing. But anyway, if this is what you are getting, therefore having something like this. Okay, so people, go and practice at home. Just go and practice today. You pass this mathematics. So some of the questions, I'll be doing them today with my kids. So this is the question. This is trigonometry. We are going to answer this trigonometry with my kids today, just to remind them of what they've been taught. Yes, so it's question 3 and question 4. And trig is very much interesting. You see here, you need to make sure that you have a single trigonometry ratio, meaning this will be sine 8 is equals to 3 divided by 7. And then you check the saying is greater than 90 or less than 270. So the quadrants here, it's quadrant number 1 and quadrant number, it's basically greater than, it's quadrant number 2 and 3. It will be 2 and 3. Yes, it's 90 greater means A should be bigger than 90. So it means it's quadrant number 2 and quadrant number 3, because A should be less than 270. So these are some of the questions that we'll be doing today at 8 o'clock. Determine cos A sine A divided by tan A. And then we move to 3.2. This is what we have been teaching our learners, to say that they have to draw a right angle triangle, and they determine the third side of a right angle triangle using the Pythagoras theorem. And then they determine sine 26 and tan 296, and then we make sure that this 296 should be written as an acute angle. So you simplify without using a calculator. Here, use the special angles. Simplify the following of trigonometric ratio. Here you need to simplify using reductions, including reductions, and then you make sure that these will be reduced to the acute angle. So it can be 180 or 360 minus 360 plus. Yes, it's 360 plus because it's 425, right? So if ever we subtract let me see, maybe 65. Yeah, it will be 360 plus 65. Yes, 360 plus 65. Let me see. 360 plus 65. And then we are basically going to have, this will change into cos, because we need to have cos 25 even here, right? So we can even use maybe let me see, 270. Let's just use 360 plus 65 and we change cos or sine into 25 or cos into 65, just like that. And then here you need to prove the identity. Okay, you prove the identity, find the general solution, and moving to the other questions. For question 5, this is what we're going to deal with. The Euclidean geometry theorem number 1. Question 6, it will be theorem number 2, whereby you need to prove. And question 6.2, that's where you need to find the angles, while there is a combination of the theorems that you have been taught inside the classroom, as well as this one here. more complex questions, so please guys, make sure that you practice. Thank you very much. We shall talk.